Well, the theme for the Spotlight this week is broken record, crime and policing, the problems over and over again. We're seeing record numbers of victims and not enough suspects going to jail. But there is one man in our community who is putting his money where his mouth is and refusing to let everybody just shrug their shoulders, realizing this is a community problem. Bill Cahill with Beacon Plumbing is here. And Bill, you and I met at a Crime Stoppers fundraiser years ago. You were supporting paying tipsters. You've been very involved in the community. How frustrated are you about this broken record of crime and policing that we're seeing?
Well, I'm frustrated in a lot of areas, Dave. This isn't the city I grew up in. The city I grew up in, we watched hydroplanes, we enjoyed our freedom and playing sports in the streets. You don't see it anymore. And we're still a great city. This is my home. This is where my 6 children live. This is where my 10 grandchildren live. I know so many people in the city of Seattle. I'm not going to move out of the city of Seattle. I love it here. It's home. Always has been and always will be. But we need to make some changes. And the police officers, I had a vehicle that was stolen, and I went after the fellow that stole it, and I saw a police officer from the city of Seattle and said, "Would you please help me to get my truck back?" And he says, "I have to stand down. We can't get in a high-speed chase." Well, I was in that high-speed chase. Why am I doing the job for the Seattle Police Department? And I love the police department, don't get me wrong. We need police officers escorting women and children in the crosswalks to school. We need to have that dialogue in the community. We need our police officers. We don't need them to go to Florida. We don't need them to move out of state because they're going to get a better way of life. We need to take care of our police officers right here. But our local city council, our government here in Washington State needs to go against the grain because these people have been told stand down. And I think we've had enough of it. It's time to stand up and make a fight out of it for our city. Let police officers do their jobs.
There's so many viewers on the Spotlight, the show that you sponsor, and we're so grateful for you to do that are frustrated like you are and want a change. Recently, we're up on Aurora Avenue and we're seeing the prostitution that's just rampant. Many of those women are victims. One of them recently tried to escape and the guy attacked her, and the guy ended up getting a shootout with a Good Samaritan who tried to save her. Sex trafficking is a huge problem. It impacts everybody, but it's also sometimes a problem that's hard to get their arms around. You are a big supporter of trying to help these women and catch these abusers. Why is that so important to you?
These women have to have an alternative choice. They need to turn in the pimps, the people that have them prostituting for their own income. They need to turn them into the police department. Those people need to go to jail. And the women need to be offered work and assistance. They need to be placed in a place where they can go to work and make an honest living. And there's enough good business owners in this city. There's a lot of them that would help these women out.
Mr. Cahill, you and Beacon Plumbing, your company, have been very involved in trying to make things better in our community. What's your call to action for other business owners and people?
Get involved. Take an interest. Take an interest. Fund the police. Take an interest in the elections. Look at who we're voting for. Let's make decisions that are good decisions for our community, for doing the right thing, and for getting our police back to work number one. Get them out there.
We got a lot of problems in this community, but it's people like you that are standing up, that are making a difference. Thank you, Mr. Cahill, for your sponsorship.
Thank you, Dave.
You bet, you bet. Together, maybe we can all make a difference.
We will.